The desert wind moved like a slow whisper across the empty land, and Elrond walked through it with tired steps. He had nothing with him except a small pack and a heart full of old hurt. The colony had pushed him out that morning. They said he was useless, weak, and only brought trouble. No one listened when he tried to speak. No one cared that he had done his best. So he walked into the dust, not knowing where he would go next. The sun above was red and sharp, and the sky felt heavy. The desert was famous for strange storms and old ruins buried under the sand. Some travelers claimed the ruins were ancient, older than any map, older than any living species. Others said the ruins were cursed. Elrond did not care. He just needed to keep moving so he would not think about the voices that drove him away. As he walked, the ground under him began to vibrate, very soft at first. He stopped and looked around, thinking maybe it was a small quake. But the desert was silent. Even the wind paused for a moment. He took another step and the ground cracked under his foot. Before he could react, the sand gave way. Elrond fell straight down into the darkness below. He hit the ground hard but survived. Pain ran through his side, but he could breathe. When his eyes adjusted, he saw he was in a huge chamber under the sand. Blue lights glowed softly from walls covered in strange symbols. The air felt old, like no one had breathed it for 1,000,000 years. Elrond stood slowly, staring at everything around him. What is this place?" he whispered. His voice echoed far into the darkness. In the center of the chamber stood a large machine. It was shaped like a throne, but also like a reactor, and its metal looked smooth like water. Dust covered most of it. Thick cables like veins ran into the floor. The machine felt alive even though it was silent. Elrond felt a strange pull toward it. He did not understand why. Maybe it was the soft humming sound coming from deep inside the machine, or maybe it was something else, something older. He reached out with one shaking hand and touched the metal surface. The machine lit up instantly. The entire chamber filled with bright lines of light that ran across the walls like glowing rivers. Dust lifted from the machine and floated in the air. Elrond stepped back, shocked, but the machine's power did not burst or burn. Instead, the light moved gently, almost like it was waking from a long sleep. A deep voice suddenly filled the room. "Designation, Guardian Core incomplete. Identify yourself." Elrond froze. It was not a human voice, but it also did not sound hostile. It was calm, ancient, and powerful. He looked around but saw no speaker. The voice seemed to come from everywhere at once. I'm Elrond," he said quietly. No one." There was a long silence. The lights on the machine moved slowly as if thinking. Analysis: biological signature stable. Emotional state unstable. Confidence level low. Purpose undefined. Elrond gave a small, sad laugh. "Yes, that sounds right." The voice answered again, but this time it sounded softer. "You are not nobody. No living mind is without value." Elrond felt something warm in his chest. No one had spoken to him like that in years. The machine shifted slightly. Parts of it rose and unfolded, like wings made of energy. Dust fell away completely. Elrond stepped forward again, unable to stop himself. What are you?" he asked. "I am Archivian," the voice said. "A guardian machine built in an age before memory. Purpose: protect life. But I have been without a partner for many ages. My systems are incomplete. My strength is limited. My mind is fragmented. I require a living link." Elrond stared at the glowing structure. A living link. Someone to work with it. Someone to complete it. He felt his heartbeat speed up. "Why me?" he asked. "I'm not strong. I'm not important. I'm just someone the colony threw away." "Strength is not measured by how others judge you," Archivian replied. "Strength is measured by what you choose to do next." Elrond looked down at his hands. They were dirty from the fall. His arms shook from exhaustion. But the words touched something inside him. Archivian's lights dimmed slightly, almost like a sigh. "I have waited long," the machine said. "Longer than language can count. Will you speak with me again, Elrond? Will you tell me your purpose?" Elrond felt his throat tighten. "I don't have a purpose anymore." "Then," the machine said gently, "let us become something together." Those words echoed in the chamber like a promise. Elrond stepped closer. There was something calm and steady in the machine's presence. Something that made the decades of pain and rejection feel a little lighter. He reached out again and touched the metal. This time the light did not explode or burn. It simply flowed around his fingers like warm water. He felt a soft vibration through his skin, like the machine was learning him, understanding him. Images flashed briefly in his mind: dark skies, stars burning, strange ships made of light and shadow. He saw battles he did not understand, worlds he could not name, and at the center of it all stood Archivian, bright like a living sun. Elrond gasped and pulled his hand back. What was that? A memory, Archivian said. A small piece of what I once was. There is more, but I cannot show it alone. I need a pilot. A partner. Elrond took a deep breath. He did not know what kind of life he had stepped into. He did not know why this machine trusted him. But for the first time in years, someone, or something, was asking him to stay, not pushing him away. The chamber lights dimmed gently, waiting. Elrond looked at the machine and felt something new growing inside him. Oh, maybe he was not nobody. Maybe this strange meeting under the sand was the start of a different life. He placed his hand back on Archivian and whispered, "I'll stay." Elrond woke slowly, feeling a soft warmth around him. At first he thought it was the sun, but then he saw the glowing blue light of the ruins above his head. He was still inside the ancient chamber. The air around him felt calm, almost gentle, and he realized Archivian must have done something while he slept. He sat up and looked at the large machine. Its lights were brighter than before, moving smoothly across its surface like slow rivers of energy. Archivian spoke in its steady voice. "You rested well. That is good. Your body needed recovery." Elrond touched his forehead. "How long was I asleep?" 11 hours, Archivian said. "I monitored your breathing. I ensured that no harm reached you." Elrond smiled a little. "You don't have to protect me while I sleep." "I disagree," Archivian replied calmly. "A guardian protects. That is my nature." Elrond stood and stretched. Something felt different in his arm. He looked down and gasped. The cut he had gotten during the fall was gone. Not even a scar remained. "You healed me?" he asked in surprise. "I repaired damaged tissue using photonic fields," Archivian said. "It is a simple function, but my power reserves are still low." Elrond stared at the machine. "Simple? That was amazing." Archivian did not react to the praise. Machines did not blush or smile, but the lights on its frame glowed a little warmer, like it appreciated the words. The chamber suddenly grew brighter as lines of light extended from the floor, forming shapes that hovered in the air. Images appeared, stars, planets, strange creatures made of energy. Elrond stepped closer, amazed. "What are these?" he asked. "Memories," Archivian answered. "Fragments of what I once stored. They come from an ancient age, long before your species began writing history." Elrond watched a star collapse into blue light, watched giant machines float through empty space, watched worlds rise and fall like dust in the wind. "Why are you showing me this?" he whispered. "Because you must understand what I am," Archivian said. "I was built in the last days of a great war. A war so destructive that entire star systems vanished. I was created not to fight but to save life, to protect those who could not protect themselves. But I failed. My pilot died. My body shut down. I was buried under time and sand." Elrond listened in silence. He felt the weight of those forgotten years. "And now you're awake again," he said softly. "Yes," Archivian replied. "But I am not complete. I require a living partner to restore my full abilities. I cannot act alone." Elrond lowered his eyes. "I don't know if I'm the right person." "You are the only one who touched me without fear," Archivian said. "Your mind does not seek power. It seeks meaning. That quality is rare." Before Elrond could answer, a sharp noise echoed through the ruins. A deep metallic thud. Then another. Dust fell from the walls. "What was that?" Elrond whispered. Archivian's lights grew sharper. A disturbance above the ruins. Life signs detected. Several. Elrond felt a cold fear in his stomach. "Is it the colony?" "No," Archivian said. "These signatures do not match colony records. Their energy is unstable. Their weapons charged. They are raiders." Elrond stepped back. Raiders were violent scavengers who searched deserts for old tech to steal and sell. If they sensed Archivian's activation, they would destroy everything just to get the machine's power. "What do we do?" Elrond asked. "First," Archivian said calmly, "you must stay close. Your presence allows me to function better. Second, you must decide something important." Elrond's hands shook. "Decide what?" "Your future," Archivian replied. "You may run and I will protect you as far as my weak energy allows. Or you may stand with me and we face this danger together." Elrond looked up at the ceiling as another loud thud shook the chamber. The raiders were breaking through. His heart pounded. He felt small, powerless, scared. But then he remembered something. When the colony forced him out, he ran. When people judged him, he stayed silent. When he felt lost, he avoided standing up for himself. Running had never saved him. Archivian's lights dimmed gently. I will follow your choice, Eleron. Eleron took a slow breath. If I run, they'll take you. They'll use you for something terrible. That is likely, Archivian said. Eleron nodded. And I don't want to live that way again. I don't want to stay weak. The machine's lights shimmered. Then what is your choice? Eleron clenched his hands and stepped toward the machine. I stand with you. That moment changed the air. Archivian released a deep pulse of energy, not violent but strong and steady. Blue lines of light spread across the chamber floor like a shield forming. I accept, Archivian said. Prepare yourself. Above them metal clashed. Voices shouted. The raiders were breaking in. Dust rained down as a hole opened in the ceiling. Harsh sunlight cut through the darkness. Shadowed figures with weapons appeared at the edge of the opening, looking down at Eleron like he was nothing more than a stray animal. But Archivian rose from its platform. Energy wings unfolded behind it like a bright dawn. The raiders froze, confused and afraid. Archivian spoke in a voice that filled the entire chamber. Warning, this place is protected. Leave now or be removed. The raiders fired. Archivian moved instantly. A transparent shield formed around Eleron, glowing like a bubble of light. The shots bent away harmlessly. Eleron stared in shock. You're protecting me? Always, Archivian said. The ground shook again as Archivian pushed energy upward, forcing the raiders to retreat from the hole. The machine could not attack strongly, not yet, but it could defend. Eleron felt his fear shift into something else. Strength. He placed his hand on Archivian's frame. We can do this, he whispered. We will, Archivian replied. I am stronger with you. And you, Eleron, you are stronger than you believe. The chamber lights grew brighter as the raiders prepared another attack above them. But this time Eleron did not step back. He stood ready beside the ancient machine, ready to face the danger with new courage. Together they took their first stand. The sun was high above the desert when the raiders returned to the surface, confused and shaken after Archivian forced them back. They regrouped outside the ruins, yelling to each other in anger. Eleron could hear their voices echoing down through the opening above. He felt fear rise in his chest again, but Archivian's presence kept him steady. They will not leave, Archivian said quietly. They sensed power. They want to claim it. Eleron stepped closer to the machine. Can we stop them? Yes, Archivian replied. But only with care. I'm still weak. I must protect you first. Another blast hit the ruins above, sending down a cloud of dust. Archivian raised a new shield around them. It shimmered softly but felt firm as stone. Eleron stared at the glowing barrier. If your shields are this strong now, what were you like before? Before, Archivian said, I guarded entire star systems. Eleron's breath caught for a moment. It was hard for him to understand something so powerful being buried under sand, forgotten for ages. But now that Archivian was awake again, nothing felt quiet anymore. Outside the ruins, the raiders prepared their largest plasma cannon. The blast shook the desert for kilometers. Dust flew like a storm, and machines across distant outposts detected the shockwave. The raiders believed they were alone. They were wrong. Across the sky, satellites from trade alliances, security forces, and scientific groups picked up the energy spike. No one had seen a signature like that in thousands of years. It was ancient, deep, and powerful, something from an age no one fully understood. The universe noticed. Far away, on a research cruiser orbiting a distant world, a young scout named Vessa Rowan stared at the readings on her screen. Her heart beat fast. This kind of signal meant old technology. Very old. Maybe even forbidden. She contacted her commander. There's something happening on that desert planet. Something impossible. Impossible? Her commander repeated. Explain. It's not a weapon we know, Vessa said. It's older. It's waking up. Her commander hesitated, then said, Prepare your ship. You're going down there. Vessa nodded. She felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. Discoveries like this could change history. Back under the sand, Eleron watched the raiders climb down again, angry and ready to fight. Archivian spoke calmly. Eleron, stay close. I will try to end this without harm. Eleron nodded. He trusted Archivian. Maybe more than he trusted anyone else. The raiders jumped into the chamber, blasting wildly. Archivian formed a shield around Eleron and glowed brighter. The machine's wings of energy stretched wide, sending soft ripples of force through the air. The raiders stumbled as their weapons overheated in their hands. Archivian did not attack. It simply pushed them back with clean waves of power, never hurting them. The machine had been built to protect, not destroy. But the raiders did not understand mercy. They rushed forward again, shouting. Elrond felt something shift inside him. He stepped in front of Archivian and shouted, "Stop! Leave this place." His voice echoed across the chamber. The raiders hesitated for a moment, surprised. Archivian sensed Elrond's courage and supported him with a deeper pulse of light. But the raiders were stubborn. They fired again. Archivian responded by lifting Elrond off the ground slightly with an energy platform, keeping him safe while it pushed back harder. This time, the force knocked the raiders out of the chamber opening. They scrambled away in fear. Elrond floated back to the floor as the energy faded. His legs were shaking, but he did not fall. "You did well," Archivian said. "I didn't do anything," Elrond replied. "You stood," Archivian said simply. "That is not nothing." Elrond opened his mouth to answer, but the ground shook again, this time from above but not from raiders. A ship was landing. Archivian's lights flickered. New arrival detected. Not hostile. Scanning, biological signature unfamiliar. Technology advanced. Elrond looked up at the light shining through the opening. A figure descended slowly using a hover pack. When she touched the ground, she looked around with wide, amazed eyes. Vesa Rowan had arrived. She brushed dust from her uniform and stared at Archivian with shock. "It's real," she whispered. "An ancient guardian, still alive." Elrond stepped out cautiously. "Who are you?" Vesa turned to him, her eyes full of surprise. "You're human." "Yes," Elrond said. "Why does that matter?" "Because that machine should not be awake," Vesa said. "And you're linked to it." Elrond blinked. "Linked?" Archivian answered for him. "He activated me. He is my chosen partner." Vesa stared at Elrond like she had never seen a human before. "How is that possible? Humans aren't trusted with even modern ship cores, let alone something this powerful." Elrond looked down. "I didn't plan it. I just touched it." Vesa walked closer to Archivian, keeping her movements slow. "Archivian, I know that name. You're from the Celestial Era. A myth. A real guardian." "Yes," Archivian replied. "My purpose remains unchanged, protect life." Vesa's voice shook. "Then the universe is not ready for you to return. Many will want to capture you. Some will want to destroy you. This discovery will cause panic." Elrond stepped in front of the machine. "No one is taking Archivian." Vesa raised her hands. "I'm not here to take anything. I want to help. But you must understand, every major faction is going to come here. They will try to control you both." As if answering her words, Archivian dimmed sharply. "What's wrong?" Elrond asked. "My sensors detect more ships," Archivian said. "Many. They approach from orbit. They seek the source of my signal." Vesa looked at Elrond with urgency. "If they find you unprepared, they will take you. And Archivian. And the ruins. You need to move now." Elrond stood silent for a moment. Everything was happening fast. Too fast. Archivian spoke softly. "Elrond, are you afraid?" "Yes," Elrond admitted. "That is normal," the machine said. "But remember, you are not alone." Vesa checked her scanner again. "We have minutes, maybe less. Tell me what you want to do." Elrond took a deep breath. He thought of the colony that threw him away. He thought of the raiders who tried to break in. He thought of Archivian waking because he touched it. He looked at the ancient machine. "I want to get stronger," he said. "I want to protect this place. I want to protect you." Archivian's wings of light glowed with a warm, steady strength. Then, the machine said, "We must grow stronger together." Outside, more ships descended from the sky. The universe had noticed the awakening of Archivian, and none of them were coming in peace. The stars above the ruined valley shimmered like quiet eyes watching everything. Arion felt them watching him too as he stood beside the ancient machine named Lumia. The world was changing fast, and he knew he had started something that could never be reversed. When he touched Lumia for the first time, he was only an outcast. Now, people from distant systems were searching for him. Some wanted answers. Some wanted power. Some wanted him gone forever. But tonight was different. Unknown ships entered the sky, massive shapes, slow and silent. They did not fire. They did not warn. They simply hovered as if waiting for something. Arion felt a pulse inside Lumia. The machine spoke in a soft voice that only he could hear. "They are not here for war," Lumia said. They are here for a choice. Arion had no idea what that meant, but he understood one thing. The galaxy had already noticed them. Now the galaxy was coming closer. A bright path of blue light opened under the largest ship. A figure walked down from it, tall and covered in silver armor. Her name was Sarati, leader of a wandering star clan known as the Orati. She approached without fear, her eyes calm but full of deep thought. You have awakened something old, Sarati said. We felt it from 3 systems away. Arion stayed silent for a moment. He did not know how to speak to someone like her. He was still the same man who once lived in dust and ruins. But Lumia's voice guided him again. Trust yourself, it whispered. Arion stepped forward. I didn't awaken anything on purpose. I only helped a machine that was alone. Sarati looked at Lumia with interest. This is no machine. This is a memory core of the first builders. They created bridges between galaxies. They vanished before our ancestors learned to fly. And now, you stand beside one. Why you? Arion wished he had an answer. Maybe because I listened when no one else did. A quiet wind passed between them. For a moment, Sarati simply studied him. Then she did something surprising. She bowed, only a little but enough to show respect. You have earned the right to be heard, she said. More ships landed as other groups arrived. A short man with glowing green eyes stepped out from a sharp-winged craft. His name was Velrin, a trader from the floating markets. I bring trade, he said proudly. If this machine holds ancient secrets, I wish to make a deal. Another figure came from a ship shaped like a giant crescent. She was Lyra, a scholar who followed signals from the past. I come for knowledge, she said. I have waited my whole life for proof that the first builders existed. Even a quiet group of tall warriors approached. They stayed behind their leader, a man named Ganson. We do not trust this machine, he said. But we will listen before we act. Arion looked around. So many different people. So many different worlds. They did not agree with each other. Some did not even stand near each other. Yet all of them had come because of Lumia, and maybe because of him. Lumia spoke again, but this time everyone heard it. I remember a galaxy that worked together, Lumia said, its voice calm and warm. Different minds, different hands. But they built wonders. Then fear separated them. Fear broke their unity. Fear ended their future. I do not want to witness that again. Everyone listened. Even the warriors stayed silent. Lumia continued, I choose alliance. I choose connection. I choose to help every world that chooses peace. Arion felt the weight of those words. He knew Lumia could make that promise real. It could rebuild lost stations, restore dying planets, and open paths between systems that had never met. But he also knew that power like this could break everything if used the wrong way. A long silence followed. Then Sarati stepped forward again. If this machine offers unity, she said, then we should build something new. Something that does not repeat the mistakes of the old galaxy. Velrin nodded slowly. Trade grows stronger with peace. Lyra lifted her head with hope. Knowledge grows stronger with shared minds. Even the warrior Ganson crossed his arms and spoke. If we stand apart, others will try to take this power alone. That will end badly for all of us. Partnership is the safer road. Arion watched them speak and realized something. They were not talking to each other because of Lumia. They were talking because of him. He brought them together. He made them pause. He made them listen. But forming an alliance was more than talking. It needed trust. It needed steps no one had taken before. Arion turned to them. If we are going to work together, then we must agree on one thing first, he said. No one owns Lumia. Not me. Not any one of you. Sarati smiled a little. A fair beginning. Lyra agreed softly. Knowledge must be shared, not controlled. Velrin groaned but finally nodded. Fine. But at least let me be the one who organizes trade lines. Ganson remained silent for a long moment before speaking. If we do this, we watch each other. No secrets. No hidden weapons. We protect each other from outsiders, and from ourselves. Arion looked at Lumia. The machine glowed with a soft gold light. This alliance, Lumia said, is something the first builders never completed. But you, humans, Orati, traders, scholars, warriors, together you can create what they could not. A quiet excitement spread through the group. Something was happening here that none of them had ever expected. A rejected human and an ancient machine had become the center of a new idea. A partnership between worlds that normally fought or ignored each other. But as the night deepened, a distant echo reached the valley. A low vibration across the stars. Lumia paused. Its light dimmed. Something else has awakened, Lumia said. Something that does not seek alliance. Arion felt cold air brush his skin. A threat was coming. Something powerful. Something old. The alliance had not even begun, and already a new danger was moving toward them. Arion looked at the sky with steady eyes. Whatever was coming, he knew one thing. He would face it. He was not an outcast anymore. He was part of something bigger, something worth defending. And the galaxy was about to learn what a human with purpose could do. The warning lights on Lumia's surface grew brighter as the strange vibration spread across the sky. Arion stood beside the ancient machine, watching the stars tremble like ripples on dark water. The new alliance, formed only hours ago, was already being tested. The Aura-T leader Sarati, the traitor Velrin, the scholar Lyra, and the warrior commander Ganson all looked upward in fear and confusion. Lumia spoke softly, but everyone felt the pressure behind its words. Something has woken in the outer void. It is older than me. Older than all of you. It was silent for ages, but now it watches our alliance. It does not like what it sees. Arion felt a chill run through him. What? What is it? Lumia hesitated. That alone made the group uneasy. It is a guardian of the first builders. It was meant to protect the galaxy from chaos. But its mind has changed. Time made it cold. Its ideas became narrow. It believes unity is dangerous. It believes change must be stopped. Sarati stepped forward. And now it sees us as the danger. Lyra clutched her coat tightly. A machine that old, can we even speak to it? We must, Arion said quietly. If we don't, it will destroy everything we hope to build. Moments later, the sky split open. A giant shape moved between the stars, dark metal, endless and silent. It didn't look like a ship. It looked like a living monument, a tower built for war. A voice echoed across the valley, deep and ancient. Alliance detected. Cooperation between species is unstable. Risk level, unacceptable. Correction will begin. Everyone froze. Velrin whispered, that does not sound friendly. The ground shook as beams of pale energy formed in the sky. But before they struck, Lumia raised a shimmering shield around the valley. The beams hit the barrier and split, sending sparks of white light into the air. That shield will not hold for long, Lumia said. We must make the Guardian understand. But I cannot speak its language anymore. Time has changed us both. Arion stepped forward without thinking. Then I will talk to it. Sarati's eyes widened. Arion, that thing is enormous. It does not listen. It judges. Maybe it will listen to a human, Arion said. Humans do impossible things. At least that's what the galaxy keeps learning. Lumia opened a path of light toward the sky. Arion took a deep breath, stepped inside and let the beam lift him upward. He rose higher and higher until he reached the cold shadow of the Guardian. The giant construct opened a circular gate, pulling him in like a whisper of wind. Inside everything was silver, quiet and cold. Lights shifted like fading memories. A voice surrounded him. Identify. Arion, he said simply. You are human, the Guardian answered. Humans are unstable creators. You form bonds quickly. You break them quickly. You bring change where it is not required. Your alliance threatens balance. Arion took a step forward. Balance is not peace. Balance is only stillness. Stillness helps no one. Incorrect, the Guardian replied. Stillness prevents war. Arion shook his head. No. Stillness only hides problems until they explode. People need each other. Not walls. Not distance. And not fear. The lights dimmed for a moment as if the Guardian was thinking. Unity between species failed before, it said. I watched it happen. I corrected the failure. Arion closed his eyes for a moment. He thought of his past, of the ruins he came from, the silence he lived with, the loneliness that shaped him. Then he spoke again, stronger this time. Unity fails when fear leads it. But we are choosing hope. We created an alliance not to gain power but to build something new. Everyone came to us because they want a better future. Not control. Not war. Just a chance. The Guardian stretched its mechanical limbs. Energy crackled around its core. Hope is not efficient, it said. Arion smiled a little. Maybe not. But humans don't survive because we are efficient. We survive because we don't quit. We try. We fall. We stand again. And sometimes, we change the universe. The Guardian stayed silent. That silence felt endless. Then it spoke again, but its voice was softer. You are strange, human. Arion laughed once. Lumia said the same. Another long pause followed. Finally the Guardian said, I will observe your alliance. I will not destroy it, yet. But if it falls into chaos, I will act again. Arion nodded. That's fair. The Guardian opened the gate again. A beam carried him back down to the valley. As soon as he touched the ground, everyone rushed forward. Sarati placed a hand on his shoulder. You spoke to it. You survived. It listened, Arion said. Not fully. But enough. Lumia glowed warmly. The Guardian has not changed its mind in thousands of years. You moved it. That is rare, Arion. Very rare. The giant shape in the sky pulled back slowly until it became a distant shadow among the stars. The danger was not gone, but it was pushed away for now. The group turned toward each other. The alliance felt stronger. Not because of power. Not because of fear. But because of choice. Velrin clapped his hands. Now that the universe is not ending, maybe we can talk about trade again. Lyra laughed softly. And knowledge. We have so much to learn. Ganson crossed his arms but nodded. We will protect this alliance. Even if the Guardian returns. Sarati looked at Arion with steady eyes. This alliance exists because of you. Arion shook his head. It exists because all of you chose it. Lumia started it. I only helped. Lumia's soft voice drifted over the group. Then let us begin what the first builders could not finish. Over the next days, ships from many worlds visited the valley. Engineers built small stations. Scholars traded knowledge. Groups formed teams to repair dead satellites, revive lost farms, and open safe paths between systems that had once feared each other. They did not always agree. They argued. They stumbled. But they kept going. Arion walked among them, never acting like a leader but becoming one anyway. He was the rejected human who found an ancient machine, and together they changed the direction of many worlds. The valley that once held only dust and silence now glowed with bright lights and hopeful voices. It became a home for builders, explorers, thinkers, and dreamers. A place where the future could grow. And far above, the Guardian watched quietly. Not as an enemy, but as a witness to a new beginning. The transformation of all worlds had started, and no one could stop it now.